daily God, my brain, man, I almost said daily cog stuff, and Jesus. I was sitting here trying to be somewhat funny, trying to get us through this real quick, and instead messed it up. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Anime-Versal Reviews here on the GenreVerse podcast network and YouTube channel. Available on all your favorite podcast apps. Give us a follow there. And if you're watching us on YouTube, please do subscribe to the channel. We do greatly appreciate it. Here we review anime. And over on AVR Squared, we react to it. So yeah, check that out. Lots of reactions up on the channel. Other content, Marvel, Star Wars stuff, general geek, pop culture, entertainment type things. I'm Kyle. That's Brian. Brian does PulpMythos on YouTube. He needs 5 subscribers to break 600. Why don't you guys help him out with that? If it hasn't happened already from our call to action on the reaction episode, say something that you cover on. What do you got coming up on PulpMythos, Brian?
Definitely Snowfall, the final season. That's definite. And there's other things we're talking about, but we love that show, and we've covered the last couple seasons.
Nice. Yeah, guys. NieR Automata season, or why do I keep trying to say season 2? Episode 2. Episode 2 hit. It came out. We were a bit late to do our reaction for reasons, but hey, it's happened. And I've never played the game, but Brian has. I relatively liked that second episode. It was a bit different than the first episode. I appreciated a lot of stuff dealing with like sound design and music choices, silence choices. I don't know. I was relatively pleased. Animation, of course, overwhelmingly much better until we got the mechs there at the end, and then that did look rough. But even there, they had more judicious use of CGI. We mentioned that in the reaction. So overall, I don't have the burden of knowledge that you do. So as of right now, I'm definitely like 100%. Let's go on to episode 3. I'm not in that like, oh, you've only got one more chance. I'm okay right now. How'd you feel about episode 2 in general, Brian?
I liked it. This one, so the first episode was very, very accurate to the game like frame by frame, with a few exceptions. This episode wasn't. There were a few things in this that's like, oh yeah, that's in the game, but a lot of this episode was more world building in a way. Even if you don't realize it, it was definitely world building, setting up things that'll make more sense later. Doing stuff that's not necessarily in the game directly as far as scenes, which I like because there's a lot going on in this game. And like I said, you need to play it multiple times to sort of understand everything. And I was curious to how the narrative was going to play out. And this episode gave me a little bit better understanding on, I think, how they're doing it.
Well, that's good. We discovered that there's going to be 24 episodes for this series. Brian, is there 24 episodes of story? Like, how do you feel knowing that?
I don't know if there is. That was the only, this was a very slow, especially the first half of this episode, very slow.
Yeah. You're
going to need a lot of episodes like this in order to fill out that many episodes, I think. I don't know. I mean, there's still, we haven't been introduced to any of, there's a lot of other main characters we haven't been introduced yet to. And in the game, several of them aren't introduced until late. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
And there's always the chance. I was talking about this on Daily Cup of Genre with Manny about The Last of Us, and he was like, they're staying pretty close to the game, and he's like, that might end up making it boring, but that first episode definitely wasn't. And he was like, but you get a chance to flesh out on some side characters that once you meet them in the game and you walk away, things still go on for them. You might catch up with them later in the game, but things are still going on. Even though the camera's following you still, this might be an opportunity for the camera to stop following 2B and 9S and turn around and follow the others.
Yes.
You think that'll work?
And that's based on this episode. That's exactly what I think they're doing.
Okay. Yeah. How do you feel about the animation this time, and how much more 2D and judicious CGI there was?
This one was way better, and there are a few. I mean, there are a few haunting shots in this. That later shot of the with the flower and him reaching out and everything. Just the way things played out, I was like, okay, they're really trying to tell the heart of what the story is. They're really going for it in how they're presenting this, and so I like the detail as far as that.
Yeah, I even mentioned, I liked seeing the oil used as blood. It's not the first time that it's ever happened or anything, but we also had a lot of robot bodies that weren't covered with oil for blood. It was like used for this specific scene, and also oil's going to dry off or blend in, or however get wiped off from weathering, and didn't know how long certain robot bodies had been there and whatnot. Trying to give them benefit of the doubt that it's on purpose, but they used it well. I almost expected a close-up shot of a drop of oil falling off the petal of a flower, but they didn't quite go that far. But the imagery was definitely there. My biggest issue with the CGI mech suits, again, the flight suits or whatever. Again, when they show up, you can see 2B or 9S in them, and they just look like they're plastic dolls stuck in there. And there's no, and I don't expect them to be moving around because they're androids, they're hooked up, but they literally just, I don't know how to word it other than it shouldn't look that lifeless. It doesn't even look like a separate part of the ship at that point until they actually open up and start moving. But other than that, I was relatively satisfied with it. So you had said that this show has lots of endings, and that something as simple as removing your OS chip can end the game. Do a lot of endings come from accidentally doing things?
Not a lot, but yeah, there's I see it's a hard game to explain.
Yeah,
as far as the narrative, the way it's told. Like I said, when I say you have to replay it 3 times, you're not replaying the same stuff 3 times.
Yeah,
let me make that clear. When you do your second playthrough, it's different, and the third, and it's narratively there. And that was the biggest question I had with this anime. I'm like, narratively, the game is like this. So how do you take that and tell a story? Oh, I mean, we'll find out.
We will find out. Because we'll be watching it, and hopefully, barring anyone getting sick or any other schedule changes, next Saturday should be the 3 of us as normal. Yeah, I just wanted kind of a chance to talk about some of those points with you here, and also try to get something up on the podcast side of things for AVR. Not everything requires a big deep analysis, but a lot of things do, and getting these little bits out, I think, are good and fun, and separate them from the reaction as well. A lot of reaction watchers are there for that. They don't want to hear the additional thoughts. They want to get their dopamine fix from you going or and then carry on. But for those that appreciate the deeper discussions, that's what we're here for. Who knows, maybe more episodes will have longer AVR, but you guys can definitely find a whole lot more reviews and reactions on, there it goes, the GenreVerse YouTube channel. This season we said we were going to cut down. Kyle lied, because we didn't cut down at all. We've got Imminence and Shadow continuing, NieR Automata, My Life as Inukai-san's Dog, and Buddy Daddies, all going on, as well as our Fate Zero reactions will be continuing. Had a break because Christine was ill. I forgot to say that to everyone on this one. Christine was sick, so we mentioned it in the reaction video. But we got a lot of content for you guys. Star Wars stuff, Marvel stuff. If it's not a reaction video, it goes up on the podcast network. If you're listening to us, hit the follow button. Interact, leave some thumbs up, down, likes, dislikes. All of it counts as interaction. YouTube and other algorithms love that. LRMonline.com for written reviews, celebrity interviews, all sorts of great content, and more at LRMonline.com. Brian has a YouTube channel we mentioned earlier. Tell him about it.
PulpMythos, check it out, give it a sub. Content on the way, going to cover Snowfall.
Lots of old stuff, big back catalog. Brian's been doing this for quite a while overall. So yeah. All right, guys, we'll talk to you on the next AVR. Have a good one. Bye.